welcome back. I'm Carrie and this is Keep It Simple DIY. Today I'm going to be making some country sausage out of some pork shoulder that I got on sale. This pork shoulder was on sale for $1.97 per pound, which seemed like a great price compared to the fact that around me country sausage is about $4.20 per pound. So even with the little bit of bone that might or might not be in here, I can't tell, I don't see a bone, but last time I bought these they had bones. It's still like less than half the price. So I'm going to make my own. I also, if you haven't seen, I'm doing like a low histamine diet for a little bit, and so I'm going to leave the onion powder out and then I will add it back in later on if I end up being able to eat it. So I am just going to start by cutting these into really small chunks and then grinding them up. You could use a meat grinder, you could use a blender. I'm still deciding which I'm going to use, but I have a bit of time before I have to decide. So let me get to cutting these up. I have my hair halfway up. I think my hair needs to be all the way up for this. I've got the first roast all cut up, and here's the bone with a little bit of meat. I'm going to put that in a bag, put it in the freezer so that it can be pork stock later on. And I was looking at the meat as I was putting it in here and thinking, I have so much, maybe I shouldn't make it all into country sausage. So this said it was 10 pounds with the bone. I just measured with the bowl and it's 10 pounds on the dot with the bowl. So I think 10 pounds of sausage is probably going to be plenty for the time being. And I'm going to put this one in my freezer because then I can either use it to can pork or I can use it to make more sausage, so I can kind of be a little bit more picky on what I want to use it for. All right, so I need to wash my hand, wash the knife, and figure out how I want to get these all ground up. I haven't quite decided yet how I want to grind those up. I'm thinking I might just use the blender, but I figured in the meantime, while I'm thinking about that, I can get the rub going. I'm going to double the recipe. The recipe is for 4 to 5 pounds of pork, and I have about 10, maybe a little less than 10. So I need 2/4 cup of brown sugar, so a half a cup, but I figured I'd use the 1/4 cup measure because then I can use it for my sage. Sage is the same thing, 1/4 cup. What's really weird, or at least I think it's weird, is that the recipe called for 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 4 tablespoons of sage. That's the same thing, isn't it? So we're going to add this in. One. And I had a feeling that wouldn't be quite enough, so I got my other one out. I'm not using all of my little jars, I'm using the bigger ones because I just didn't think that there would be enough in any of these little ones. This needs to go on my list of things to buy. And then I need 2 tablespoons, but I'm going to double it, so 1/4 cup of ginger mustard, and garlic powder would also be onion powder, but I will add onion powder in later. I'm assuming I'll be able to eat it soon. I'm pretty sure I found the source of the migraines. I'm pretty sure that it was a medicine that I was taking actually. So I haven't had a migraine since stopping that medicine. So I definitely don't think it was related to food. We also needed 2 tablespoons of oregano. So I am going to double the 2 tablespoons, make it 4 tablespoons or 1/4 cup. Oh, that's a little much. There we go. These aren't in order of how much they were in. I thought they were. 2 tablespoons of pepper is also going to be 1/4 cup because we're doubling. Oop, I'm going to go a little tiny bit shy. Pepper isn't my all-time favorite, but I do like it a lot better when it's freshly cracked. This is pepper that I just ground up just the other day. I put it in like a coffee grinder. And then here, same thing, 1/4 cup of salt. Last things on the list are the paprika and cayenne. I'm going to leave the cayenne out because I am just not a fan of really spicy things, but I only need half the amount of paprika that I had of everything else unless I want to use paprika as the cayenne. I just thought of that. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just do, well, maybe I'll split it halfway in the middle. I'll do 3/4 of a 1/4 cup, which is like 3 tablespoons. Because it called for 1 tablespoon of each, but I'm doubling, so we'll go a little shy. All right, now I just need to mix this together, and then we are ready to grind up the meat, get the seasoning on it, and call it some sausage. I love that this is not only cheaper, but I can control the ingredients going into it. There's no sausage that I could find that was safe for me to eat on the diet that they have me on. So making my own is my way to be able to do that. I'm gonna just use the blender, I think. That'll be easiest. Okay, so let's see. I am going to just move this out of the way. And I want to dump all of the meat into the bowl. I only have one of these big bowls. If I had more than one, this wouldn't be a dilemma. I'm just going to get all of this, hopefully on here. Ooh, yikes, yikes, yikes. Trying not to get it on the counter too much. I mean, I'm gonna clean the counter regardless, but. Okay. Whew. I did this with chicken recently, so I'm assuming this will work for pork. I do have the KitchenAid attachment that I could use, but if you haven't seen, I got a new mixer. It's not a KitchenAid, but I would have to pull the KitchenAid out and then it would probably burn out halfway through doing it. So I've decided against that. I love this thing. This is the Ninja, what is this? It's a mixer, smoothie maker. It has little, it's like a mixer, food processor, smoothie maker, smoothie bowl maker, everything in one. And it has a blade that comes up quite far instead of like a regular blender, just has the blade at the bottom. Gotta be real careful though, because I have accidentally cut myself cleaning that blade. Probably about 50% of the times that I clean it. So definitely something to be careful of. But this is fantastic. I mean, not sponsored. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but I love the Ninja brand things. I have their coffee maker, which I love as well. And you guys, I'm thinking about that creamy. Do you guys have it? Do you like it? What are your thoughts? All right, let's get this first batch going. Which setting? I'm trying to figure out what setting to use. The spices are getting in my nose, so I just use the bowl setting. It does this like pulse thing. I kind of, oh gosh, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, all of those spices. It does a pulse, which is super helpful, but I want to make sure that I'm not mixing it too much because I don't want the meat to get too tough. I will link the recipe for this down below. It's not my recipe, I've used it before, and I'm trying to remember which recipes I really liked and which ones I didn't. I think this was the one that I liked the best, but I was tracking it really well when I first did them, and then I fell off of the tracking it wagon. You know, I don't see any reason to ever use one of those grinders. The grinders take forever. I mean, unless I was putting it into like a sleeve, a casing. Ugh. Okay. Okay, now the fun part. Let's see. I need to get all of this mixed into here. Do I just pour it over? I think I do. Actually, I'm thinking I might want to just kind of evenly get it in all the areas first. Okay. You know, I thought about putting this part in the mixer because anytime I'm mixing meats, I usually use a mixer, but there's just so much here that might as well not get another bowl dirty. I'm only going to mix this enough to get all of these spices incorporated into the meat, and then I will package it into 1 pound bags. And then that way, I'll just have like a pound of sausage anytime I want to, if I want to make sausage patties or if I want to just cook ground sausage. I'm definitely glad I didn't make both of those. Could you imagine? I need like a Jammerall size bowl if I'm going to be making both of those at once. This is a much smaller bowl than that. Okay, I think we've got it. 10 pounds of sausage. I'm going to wash my hands and then I'm going to wash the mixer and then I'll get this packaged up. I'm just going to put some water and soap in the mixer and run it a few times. That's the easiest way to clean it. All right, I got everything cleaned up for the most part. I got some bags labeled. These are quart size bags. I'm going to put 1 pound in each of them. I've got my scale out and I think I need to switch up my flow. I think this needs to go here and this needs to go here. All right, there we go. Guys, this was so quick and easy. Okay, this is interesting. I got 8 full ones and then one that's at 14 ounces. So I guess I have a few too many bags. I like to freeze my meat as flat as I can if I have the option because it makes it so much quicker to thaw it out. There's that one. All right, we did it. I'm going to get these into the freezer, and then I have quite a bit of sausage ready to go. I can always add the onion powder if I later can have it. If you've ever made your own sausage, let me know. I'm really interested in hearing what recipe you used, if you liked it. I've tried probably about 5 different recipes so far for Italian sausage and breakfast sausage. And in this case, I just went with the country sausage. I think that was my favorite out of all the ones that I tried. And I've learned that I'm not the biggest fan of sausage that you would put like on spaghetti. I knew that, but I thought if I made it on my own, I might like it a little better, and I didn't. So we definitely went, breakfast is the only way I'm gonna do sausage unless I do sausages, like sausage links. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd love to see you. If you're interested in sticking around, I will pop up a few more videos on the end screen, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.